Hello, it's me Squibbybros. Before this video starts, I have a quick disclaimer. This video contains flashing black screens on the footage. I do not know how this happened, but it's really annoying. But anyways, back to the video. What is up guys, it is me Squibbybros and we are back with some more Ark Survival Evolved on mobile. Yes, that's the first time I'm speaking in Ark Survival Evolved. Yeah, I've heard my voice before, but yeah, first time I'm doing it in this game right here. And today I'm going to be showing you a quick guide on how to get color mutations. So, without further ado, let's get started. So I'll be going through a little step-by-step process on how you get color mutations, alongside some final notes along the end. So yeah, you know what I mean. So how do you get color mutations? Well, you know, a step-by-step thing. But anyways, so you will need a dinosaur of the same species, but opposite gender. So if you look at this fellow here, he is, or she is female. And this one here, or they, of course, the joys of filming something, and I realized I forgot to bring a male. But you need to make sure you have two dinosaurs, but opposite gender. And they need to be the same species. In this case, I am using iguanodons as an example, but as you can see, this one is female, and this one is male. So the one thing you want to make sure they have, like I said, you need to make sure you have a male and a female. You also need to make sure they have the good stats. Now, I did level them up, unfortunately, so I couldn't tell you what the good stats were. But let's just say you have an iguanodon with 2000 HP. That would be your best HP stat. Then you have another that is a female and has the best melee, which is around, let's say, 390. You want to make sure you combine those two stats. You want the high HP and the high melee on a single baby. Actually, two babies, because you need to have one on a male and a female. That's only if you want boss breeders. If you're not really targeting boss breeders and you just want cool colored dinos, you could just tame one of these and then tame another one of these, breed them, and just make sure you have multiple females. If you have a male, just get rid of it. Kill it. So, yeah. If you have a male, get rid of it, but if you have a female, keep it. I will, if you want, you can imprint it, but for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna say this, just don't imprint your dinos while you're breeding for color mutations. So once you have your, like I said, breeding pair, what you want to do, in fact this one doesn't want to do it, because, yeah. But what you want to do is, you want to go to a little circle here, and then you go to behavior, and then you click enable mating. You could also turn on wandering, which also does work, but I will recommend just turning on enable mating. Now, one thing is that I do have the mating settings low. So as you can see, these two individuals, they don't want to mate right now. However, once they finish the mating cycle, they will lay an egg, or in case of gestation dinos, like direwolves, which I do have some up there, they will have a gestation timer. So what you want to do after you breed your dinos is you need to pick up the egg that's like, that usually comes down right here. There's just poop right there. And then you want to bring that egg to a hatchery, which I have one right here. I actually have two hatcheries. This one is for a bunch of small boys right here, but anyways, you bring the egg, you have to make sure the generator's turned on. You put the egg down, and then you just have to wait until the baby hatches. So that's how you get eggs. And once the baby hatches, check their stats. If they're bad, get rid of them, and that's only if they're male. If they're a female, you need to keep them, because you need to make sure you have the maximum amount of eggs that you want. But I still have not talked about how in the world do you get a creature like this and turn it into a creature like this. So that's what I'm going to be talking about next. So the chances for a color mutation, or just any mutation, is around 5%, if I'm not mistaken. So as you can see, of course, we do have some iguanodons here. That egg is going to have a 5% chance that it might be a mutation. If it isn't, then just continue hatching eggs. Now, there's no real chance when you get a mutation. If you see a baby with a cool color, that means it's a mutation. But one thing I have not talked about is that you may get a baby with a mutation, but it's not going to be a color mutation, which I am going to talk about right now. So I'm back at my main base, and we have a Kentro here. And now I'm not using Kentro as an example. But as you can see, this dude has a mutation. It's an HP mutation. But the colors are basically the same colors as the parents. Just keep that in mind if you're breeding for color mutations. If it's a stat mutation, then just get rid of it, especially if it's an oxygen or food. But if you're breeding for boss dinos, and if you get a stat mutation, like an HP or melee one, I would recommend keeping it, but that's for, only for boss dinos. We're talking about color mutations, so I'm sorry, bud. So heading back to our example here, like I said, it's a 5% chance you may get a mutation. Now, there are a bunch of colors, and I am going to list them all right here. List them all. I don't know why I'm saying list, but yeah. I'm going to list them all right here on screen. Now, there is a chance you may get a very dull color. Let me show you right here. So, I have a bunch of UDs here. They've been breeding for a bit. But, as you can see, we do have this individual. Are you fully grown? No, but... yes, color mutation, but it's like this weird hazel dull green. If you're breeding for cool colors, you don't want to have something like this. This is bad. But if you're just breeding for HP or for stat mutations, for example, this one actually had a stat mutation on HP, but also had a color mutation which had a dull color. I'm sorry to say this, but you will have to keep those if you're breeding for boss dinos, so keep that in mind. But if you do get a dull color, I just recommend just get rid of it, because it's not going to be a very cool color, especially if you're breeding for cool colors like this. Now, another thing I want to mention is that dinosaurs the dinosaurs in Ark, they have different color regions. The dodo has 6 regions. This iguanodon here, or iguanodons, have 3 color regions if I'm not mistaken. UDs, if I'm not mistaken, have 4, and that Bronto all the way in the back, if I'm not mistaken, has 4 as well. Keep that in mind. So, you want color mutations. If you want to get a fully mutated dino, this one isn't fully mutated, but that's okay. That's okay. But if you want fully mutated dinos, you need to make sure you have mutations on all the color regions. I would highly recommend to make them match, but it's totally fine. You could go with random colors if you want. Just make sure you don't get any, make sure you do not get any dull colors, because that could be bad if you get dull colors. Now, I am going to show you just one more example of a random color mutation. This guy right here, this is a Kentro. Heal it up. Sweet. But this Kentro right here, I don't know if you can see it, but he has a teal underside, which if I'm not mistaken is region 5. It's really cool. Sadly, it's not on HP. That's the thing. If you're breeding only for color mutations and not stats, it's totally fine if you get something like a food mutation or oxygen mutation. If you're breeding for stats, like for boss dinos, just get rid of food or oxygen stats. You're mostly going to focus on HP and melee. Now, before I go, first off, I was doing a thumbnail, but I want to mention this. I did put a note on it earlier, but you could also get double and triple mutations. Double mutations, give 4 extra levels instead of 2. I should mention this, but single mutations, they give 2 levels. And triple mutations, they give you 6. Double mutations are really, really rare, and triple mutations are even more rare. I actually haven't gotten any double or triples, just singles. So just keep that in mind if you're breeding. Secondly, I just want to mention this, but if you don't want to lose your color mutation, if you just want to bring it out for a ride, I would highly recommend, try and get a male of this color mutation, breed it, and make sure you have multiple babies with those color mutations so that you don't lose your main color mutations while you're, out and about with a creature. And that's just in case if a creature dies. I'm just saying that so that you don't have to worry about just having a good RNG luck and trying to get the color mutation you want back. And finally, before I go, I should mention this, but only a small amount of you are actually subscribed to my channel. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that like button, especially to videos that I already published or videos like right now, like this one here, on Color Mutations. But anyways, that there is a quick guide on Color Mutations. Please hit those like and subscribe buttons. Comment down below what you think about this video. And I'll see you next time on Squibbybros. Squibbybros out.